Hello, back at it again with another reflection vlog. Today's topic is going to be about how I was a toxic person in my past relations. Now, before y'all judge my ass, I just want to let you know that anybody can be toxic. Nobody is so high up that they're immune to any bad qualities as a human. We've all been traumatized in some sort of way in our past, which involves some of our bad habits. Expand your mind. All humans are imperfect. Personally, I unlearned a lot of my bad habits through self-help, but I also want to emphasize that professional help cannot be replaced. There are professionals out there whose sole goal is to help you and be a better you. Let them do their job. But I understand if you come from where I come from and you have this negative connotation to mental health services. I understand where you're coming from. Go when you're ready. I love you. The characteristics that I'm going to be explaining are in no particular order, so let's get started. Number 1, bad communication skills. I'm still working on this bad habit. It seems that I've had this bad habit since I was a little kid. Rather than going out of my way to fix a problem, I'll just not talk and then hope that time fixes the problem. Which, when I say it out loud, that sounds dumb.
So I don't know what I was thinking.
I also have a bad habit of stonewalling. So for those who don't know, stonewalling is the absolute refusal to think about another person's perspective. When there is a conflict, rather than communicating for a solution, you just isolate communication altogether. Sound familiar to you? It's okay. I was there too. And as long as you're working on it, I mean, that's all you can do for yourself, and I'm so proud of you if you are. Personally, it took me losing a really good friendship for me to realize my bad habits and my bad communication skills. I've learned that it only creates tension and kind of creates more problems rather than fixing the problem when you do the stonewall. Number 2, not being able to be vulnerable. Before the journey with myself, I used to be a really defensive person. I kind of still am. I'm also working on that as well. For some reason, I am always on guard. I'm sure there is a reason. I just gotta figure it out myself. Oh, okay, no, I know the reason. You kind of have to be on guard. You always have to have like an exterior when you kind of raise yourself, as a result from having like lower class working parents that like were working minimum wage jobs, but still trying to take care of a 4-child household. I'm pretty sure that's where it comes from. Now, a big negative of that is that there is little to no communication between the parent and child. So if there's a problem, the parent has to go straight to work. They can't deal with it. So a lot of times when there's friction between a social interaction, afterwards I would think, but before I would think, oh, that bitch don't like me because of X, Y, and Z. When in reality, it's just they'd rather not deal with confrontation that's unnecessary, and they only want positive energy around them. And I have to respect that, because you have to respect people's boundaries, which is another thing that I learned to do, because that was another toxic trait that I had, is I didn't know what boundaries were both ways. And the gag is I'm a Libra, and apparently
we don't know what those are.
Anyways, another toxic habit, backpacking off, not being able to be vulnerable, was that I wasn't, like I said before, able to respect boundaries. I wasn't able to create them. I didn't know really what they were. I hate to admit this, but it's very true. I can't do what I was never taught to do, or I never thought what I was doing was wrong. And so as a result, I would get frustrated when people would set their boundaries, because in my head and my mentality back then, I was like, well, I would do it for you. This just because it's could have done it doesn't mean you should have done it. This goes for anything you do in life. You can't just give an expectation to take back. And honestly, I try not to be like that. That's not me. But had I been able to be a little more vulnerable and had the ability to say sorry when I crossed the boundaries that I did, I probably would be in a different place right now. But we're not gonna focus on that right now. Number 3, the biggest one that was more toxic to myself than anything else, It was that I didn't know my worth. This specific characteristic or trait, however you call it, it was the biggest thing that I had to overcome, because if you don't know your self-worth, it affects your self-confidence, which affects your workload, your work ethic, and anything you do in your life. You'll have this insecurity that you need to get over. I'm just gonna assume that this kind of came from my background. I came from a very Asian background, as I said before in my other vlogs. My household was kind of built on tough love. There was little to no affection. I only really remember getting affection when I did something good or if I did good in school, which is the same narrative for a lot of Asian American friends that I know. As a result, it affected how I socialize. I tend to misread a lot of gestures. I tend to fall for people easily. But after the journey with myself, I finally came to the conclusion that I am worthy of people being nice to me because they want to be nice to me, and I'm worthy of being kind and receiving kindness just as you are. I'm allowing myself to feel good things, and when someone does something kind for me, I shouldn't feel guilty about it afterwards. And again, I'm still working on this. I'm still letting friends try to help me out, even when they're really good friends. It's for some reason a really bad habit for me to just be polite and say, oh no, I'm okay, I'm good, thanks. It's okay for people to help. It's okay. Honestly, it was a struggle to get to where I am mentally, and it still is. As I said previously in this vlog, I didn't know that my actions were so bad until again, someone told me. I honestly thought I was just being a product of my environment, but still, that's no excuse. As the cliche goes, you don't have to be a product of your environment. You can't change where you come from, but you can change where you're going. Now, I know there's many more ways to not be a not so great person, but these are my own personal accounts and current obstacles that I'm trying to overcome personally, mentally, emotionally, all that. Me sharing my shredded skin is in hopes that someone will watch this, relate to it, and want to be self-aware enough to want to help themselves as well. I hope that this kind of sparks and becomes a catalyst for something that makes someone to change on their own, because you can't change anybody else besides yourself. And again, it's another cliche, but it's so true. Alright guys, good luck, and hopefully I get to see you soon. Bye!